more of an award theme kind of intro, short, sweet. It's today's just having a little fun. The season's done, and we just wanted to kind of hang out with some really good people and talk about Nos Benfica. What do you guys think?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Sounds good.
You
Sounds good.
ready?
So
So
much happening too.
that's oh man, especially today. Today's a day to go like Sergio. You see the announcement, the two announcements.
Three. Well, no,
Three.
not three announcements. I should say three good stories today. You got
Right.
the first one, the big cock coming over
Yes.
to Benfica, the Turkish cock. The second thing being Benfica beating the crap out of Sporting in Sporting's João Rocha Stadium in basketball. And then the third and the most unexpected news is O Capitão is staying with us.
Staying as a
until
capitão.
2025. Like 2 more years, right? So that takes us to 2 more years, right?
Yeah.
2 more years, yeah.
2025.
Question for you all, actually, because another big, not storyline, but just a lot of talk on Benfica Twitter and everything has been about the series, the Oamu Benfica. I haven't seen the documentary yet. It's been a crazy week.
Yeah.
But apparently, from what people have been saying, is that it really shows, which I think we already knew this, right? How much of a leader Otamendi is. And initially, I was like, I think we're ready to kind of move on to the next step. But a lot of people are like, hey, man, after watching this documentary, I think we'd be screwed without him. And so I'm excited to watch it, first off. But yeah, I'm really happy with today and how this week's gone in general.
Yeah.
I heard they've been posting those on YouTube, right? Also, not just play.
I know that they do it at least a week later, but I mean, play's free now, so it's not like when they made it.
Oh, is that right? Is
Paywall.
it free? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Is it on the app or a separate app? It's still the
It's a
Benfica
separate app.
Separate app.
No, it's a Benfica
But it's
Play
free
app.
now.
Yes. At least
Hey,
I'm
you
not
heard it
paying
here
for it. I
first.
got
Use
it, but it was
discount
free.
code BA90 for free BTV Play. On us.
B90 cock. That's
B90, the cock is coming. Yeah, I can't wait to see that first time that cock warms up.
I will say this: there are two people in this world that are upset. Two Benfica players were upset with the news today: João Vitor and Lucas Verissimo, because they were probably expecting they were going to have more playing time next year, and now unless Antonio
One of those two are going
gets
to go.
sold,
Yeah,
well,
Jovic
I mean,
is going.
exactly, right?
Jovic
So
is definitely going.
unless we get a big time proposal for Antonio Silva, and and then Muratu steps up into his place, because we all know that Roger favors Muratu over anybody else on the black bench. João Vitor's probably gone.
And you look at it, you think about more, Sergio. It's like we also have Tomás Araujo coming back from Gil Vicente, right? And he was like one of him and Antonio Silva. I mean,
He was supposed to be better.
right?
He was supposed to be
Exactly.
better.
Exactly, and that's why they loaned him out. It's like, hey, he needs to get the experience and then get a spot next year, and then the injuries happen.
And doesn't that remind you of the situation about 5-6 years ago with Ruben Diaz and Ferro Rodrigues, where everyone thought Ferro was the better player, but out of nowhere, Ruben Diaz became like this massive star.
Well, actually, it was like
weird
Ruben
how that
Diaz
happened
first.
again.
Ruben Diaz started first, and he looked like he was like the better guy. Then Pharaoh came, and he was like a million times better than Ruben Diaz.
Because he could pass. He
And
had
then
like that
then
great
it switched
vision.
around.
Yeah, crazy. It's just
Yeah.
lightning strikes twice for us in the back with these guys. But hopefully, there's a change of mentality, and we're going to keep this kid for another year or two, right? Because if they're investing 30 million in one single player, hopefully that's a signal of them wanting to, compete in Europe, because you're going to need reinforcements, and you're going to need depth in Europe if you're going to go past the quarterfinals in the Champions League. Absolutely, right? So.
Yeah, to be back in the quarters, be at that level, you have to be there. And the market value for this guy, man, he was not a cheap individual either. Like, he's a record signing for Europe, but it's only 80% of his pass. So I think his value is like just shy of $40 million.
So they were saying, Mario, they were saying that pretty much let's just pretend that, he kills it in the someone wants to buy him for his release clause, the 120 million. Someone already did all the math, and basically they said that he would be worth another 20 million. Right, so you're looking at a pretty much a $50 million player if he gets sold for the release clause. But here's the thing, like, I don't like the sell-on clauses because things have been working so well for us that, like, the sell-on clause really only bites the club that buys the player if things go well. right? Because they get a player. That selling cost is not going to be up, right? So like it's really benefiting the buying club if he flops. But Benfica have just had so much luck lately where it's benefiting the team that sold us the player, right? So, and then this other news now, I'm not sure if you guys saw Renan Lodi, who used to play for Atletico Madrid and now is at Forest. We're getting talks with him. So to your point, Sergio, I think if I'm a player too, if I'm a free agent, especially like even Di Maria, I see Benfica just went and spent 30 million, right? And that's on one position. You start getting other big names in the mix, and the guys that are on the team aren't going to want to leave. Even Gonçalo might get a big offer and say, hey, look, I got this guy feeding me the ball all season. I'll be worth double and get even more money next year. So, the butterfly effect that these types of moves can have is just
it's not
unreal.
Like there's years past where we went through a period where we'd have like a decent season, sell our best, and then there's those years where we weren't really going out there and buying talent or relying on the Seychelles. So there wasn't really anything coming up. And so if you're like a decent player, had a good year, it's your time to move because some other guys are going to leave and they'll guarantee you next year. Now you're seeing like reinvestment. You feel confident we're going to make another good run. My value should only increase, right? And this is a big signing. A lot of people, people had Liverpool, Arsenal, a bunch of clubs were talking about signing this individual, right? Like supposedly, like 2 days ago, there was an article I saw on a headline: Arsenal hold the advantage to complete the deal for him. I guess not, right? You know what I mean? So, but the fact that you're going to be Benfica in the market for those types of players, it's amazing.
I don't think you pay that sort of money for someone if you're not wanting to carry on playing a Champions League. I don't think. I don't, because we looked into it last season. We looked into Koksu last season, and then it didn't happen. Whatever. I think
Nenzo.
Yeah, who?
That was the choice.
Joey knows all about him. Oh no!
Luis, I am trying. I've watched this kit so many times, just praying the numbers fall off. You have no idea.
It's the one time you want the numbers to fade.
Sometimes I won't even wear it. I'll look at it and just be like, you know what? You need to wash today. I need to get that name off.
That's like idea. That's my Everton's number 7 jersey. I keep watching it. I keep watching and watching it. I want to replace that one and put like someone else like a Darwin or even like Lacasse. I'll even put Chloe Lacasse. I'll put Chloe Lacasse over Everton. But Everton's hated now. Apparently they're cheering. They're saying they're jeering him and saying, "Please go buy the Benfica."
Wow.
We're like, no. It's like Stefanovic. Like, no.
Done.
But yeah,
it's okay.
I think it's a statement by the club to say we did all this in Europe and we can do more if we sign the right players. And midfield was slim, and now we got somebody. I believe he can be the man. I do think he has a lot of work though. It's not going to be like he's going to come in and just fit in. I think he has to like adapt, and
it takes some adaptation.
It's a different kind of football, man. It's definitely kind of football. He has a great shot. He has an incredible through ball. Although I saw a lot of videos, and he has like 10 through balls, and they all miss. And I'm thinking, hey, that's Gonçalo, mate. That's Gonçalo. And I'm like, oh, mate, like fuck. But no, hopefully is going to be great for the club.
Luis, I heard this comparison. I'm not sure if someone was messing with me because I've only seen one game of his, and it was like a Europa League game, and it wasn't one of his best games.
Don't say it.
No. So basically, I heard that he's similar to Pot, but like good. Okay. Not to be mean, but like a similar playing style.
I heard somebody today compare him to Kevin De Bruyne. I'm like, all right, fucking relax.
No, but even his body type, right? He's like what? Like 5. He's like
really? You get offended by that when we were talking about Chiquinho and Zinedine Zidane in the same sentence? I was probably the only person like, what the fuck are we talking about here? It's Chiquinho we're talking about.
I will say one thing.
Joey,
sorry, go ahead.
And now he's expendable. Go figure. Now he's
to answer your question, Joey, I have watched enough of Koksu, so I would have an opinion if I watched enough of Pot, but I don't watch Pot play, so I don't know.
So yeah, but what you're explaining sounds like more like I know what you're saying. Hey,
I watched one game this season, and Pot scored a screamer against Arsenal, and that was good enough for FIFA to think he deserves the Team of the Season card. That is it. That's all he did this season.
And then he had the absolute sitter in the derby in Alpha.
And he's like, no, don't want it.
That's one of the most like I try to explain to people every time my Sporting friends bring up, oh, we're gonna get this much money from Paul. I just bring up that goal because it still blows my mind. Everyone in the stadium knew that goal was in, and it looked like he almost just he didn't even react when he missed it. He's like, oh, well, this it was so casual.
He reacted when Neres ran up to him and called him a bitch. He reacted then, didn't he? I got a top coming soon, man. I love that top.
Oh,
that is my God. He went on a scorched earth last season against the Liga. It was hilarious. At the end of that last celebration game.
I loved him at Ajax. I loved him at Shakhtar, and I fucking love him at Benfica, man. Like my guy.
More importantly, it looks like he loves being here, Luis. Which is this summer when people
I don't know. I can't remember the game, but that was one game where I think it was that game against Sporting, and I put on Instagram. I was like, it's a pleasure to see that Benfica growing in you. Right, but I was not expecting any of that stuff at the end when we won the league, and I see him all like that, and I'm like, yeah, okay, he's Brazilian. They have that sort of Portuguese fire in them, obviously, but still, man, I tell you what, he's won quite a lot of stuff with Ajax. I haven't seen him party like that. I've seen him, doing that, dancing a little bit,
much more low key,
but not like that. It was having fun, but not. I don't know. It's different. It was different. I tell you what, though. At the camera, he was a lot more reserved. He was like, listen, I'm hanging, man. I'm fucked. So it was a lot more reserved. But he still had a little bit of banter in him.
I think it helps too, Luis, him being in a Portuguese country where everyone in the locker room, not everyone, yeah. Right? But versus, Ajax. Because it's not even like you're in Spain or in England where those languages are kind of similar. Dutch. I know I had a friend actually when I was in Lisbon. I got to meet up with him. And actually, we went to the last game together, to the final match against Santa Clara, and he immigrated to Amsterdam, to the Netherlands, and he's like, it's so hard to understand those people if you don't speak the language. It takes an effort, So for Nance to just come and be home and be winning too, I was concerned with him leaving this summer. But after that end of the season, I'm really not. I think he's going to stay.
I hope he doesn't. And I tell you what, I think we had this conversation, last pod or the one before, where who we going to sign and stuff. Yeah. I think it's important to keep players. I share the same opinion with you. I was ready to let go of Otamendi just because of all the players we have there. I'm happy they didn't go. I'm not saying I wanted him to go. I'm just saying if he went, for example, Chiquinho. Let's put it this way, Chiquinho. I don't want him to go, but if he goes, I'm not going to be mad, especially now with Koksu, right? Florentino, though, I'll be mad. That's a set of players I want to keep. Yeah, Neres I want to keep, Even if Rafa went, I wouldn't be too mad because you got to look at, he's been wanting to go. Or every summer we think, is Rafa going to go this summer?
It's like Odi. It's similar to Odi, except we want Odi to go.
See, Odi, I wouldn't mind Odi going.
Well, there's rumors of us signing another keeper. We'll see. Hopefully, it'd be nice to have a true competitor for Odi to replace. I do want to touch on one thing. So you guys talking about Neres and the club and the vibe and things of the sort. The guy that surprised me the most this week was Draxler. I'll pull it up here. For those who haven't seen it, he had a great post. Let's get rid of the banner here. He did it in Portuguese, and there's the English one here. And I gotta say, this speaks volumes not about Draxler, but about the club. The fact they had a player that's on loan that clearly didn't live up to expectations, a very highly paid player,
a world champion.
But the thing is, he's fallen off. But it's still one of the more expensive players on the squad from a loanee standpoint. And we knew we weren't going to keep him, but for him to kind of say these words, speak the way he did about Benfica, I don't know. I don't follow Draxler's career, but you don't see these kinds of posts very often from players. I think there is a lot of mentality changeover in the club, in the locker room, with the management teams, the facility. And it's always been Benfica's always been a great club, but there's a couple of years there where it was kind of like a little bit of turmoil. And it feels like the last couple of years, Rui Costa has gone out of his way. You obviously see him in the stands, how much he's cheering for it, but you see these clips and videos of him with the players and how much he's feeling that passion. And I do believe in a top-down system in management.
Can you put that post up again?
Yeah.
So, to your point right there at the end there, Benfica's family, you feel safe and well treated as a player. The atmosphere is extraordinary, right? So. That's you probably wouldn't say that a couple of years ago when it was Jorge Jesus and Luis Figueira.
No change.
Right? Exactly.
No change.
And so there's a whole mentality change when Rui Costa came in and he brought in Roger Schmidt. But you can see from all these episodes from Benfica that there's a complete shift, 180 in the attitude towards the players and trying to bring them all together and gel them together, because obviously there was rumors behind the scenes with clicks and the whole Rafa, Pizzi, André Almeida click, and Brazilians and Portuguese players talking to each other, and the Spanish players talking to each other. So obviously something's changed. So a lot of the credit has to go to Rui Costa, who, from what you said, top down, has enforced this change, and someone like Julian Draxler noticing that and calling that out in this little post here. I mean, that's extraordinary.
Yeah, no, I thought it was well done. That kind of goes to what Luis was saying about Nadish and these guys. They're feeling happy here, hopefully. I
think there's a lot of factors. I'll cover like a couple. We can't forget where he came from. He came from PSG. Like they don't have a family there. They want to win. They want to get paid. Simple as that, and win titles. And if we don't, it's more like you turn up for work. You're just turning up for work. And you do your work. You go home. You don't enjoy it. You're just doing what you're supposed to. We can't forget that Rui Costa was a football player, so he's been on the other side of the coin, and I think that means a lot to all the players around him. He knows how to speak to a player from a player's perspective instead of an owner's perspective. Or like a chairman perspective. Do you know what I mean? Like he'll speak to a player saying, "Look, I've been there and I did this.
Well,
it's up to you, but I've been there and I've done this."
Absolutely. Now, you have a different attitude towards somebody who's played the position before in the past versus somebody who sold tires, right?
Yeah.
So
no, it's true. Yeah.
And you look at him as a businessman first and foremost versus a football player and a legend in this country. Yeah. You look at it at the person. You there's obviously a little bit more respect for somebody who's playing a trade, right? So absolutely, you're bang on, Luis.
I think something else that's interesting too, though, is to that same point, Luis. You look at what's happening right now with AC Milan and Maldini, right? So obviously he wasn't the president. Things work a little bit differently there. But the whole point is they kick out Maldini, and all of a sudden you've now pissed off the keeper. You've pissed off Leon, who just signed a deal. Like the impact, but that only goes to show how much impact that these former players, especially when they're legends of the club, right? Like even Proudhon when he went back to not Anderlecht, like Standard Liège or whatever he was from, right? Like when you see players go back to their club, there's a certain amount of respect inherently they have for them. But then once they see the actual how much they care, right, that respect grows even further. Which I think is one of the reasons why Otamendi even stayed. If we had. When we signed Otamendi, it was JJ and LFE at the helm, right? Middle of COVID, when we had to get rid of Ruben Dias. If it was the same environment right now, I think Otamendi says, you know what, I'm done. I think that two things, and this is just mine.
And chances are we probably wouldn't have won the title.
Correct.
with JJ.
Correct.
So
Correct.
He would have been gone anyways.
But and this is very biased right now, right? And obviously we have these rumors going and everything, but I look at the situation right now in Portugal where Sporting just sold Ugarte, right? He's going to be gone July 1st.
No, sorry. I don't want to talk about it. No. I don't want to go into it because it's not Benfica, but like, have you guys seen how they're going to pay for Ugarte? It's like a 5-year thing, dude. Like,
like meal tickets, right?
Paying now, and in 5 years.
Like, they got food stamps.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Bus passes, metro passes. But anyway,
passes, pink dust gift cards.
But no, what I was gonna come down to say is, like, right now you look at Sporting, they're gonna be down. Braga, we'll see, right? We'll see what happens. If the manager sticks around, they're gonna be in the Champions League. Hope they do well in the Champions League. Frankly,
I think they're gonna completely fuck themselves.
Me too.
Because I think they're gonna have too many games, and they don't have the bench. They're gonna do what I'm afraid, like West Ham and all these teams, like when they get into Europe, you either pick Europe or you pick the league. And this is what West Ham did this season. Therefore, we're going to go for Europe. And they did very well. And well done to them. They got a trophy out of it. That's fine. But when you're in the Champions League, with all the respect to Braga, you're not going to win it unless there's a fucking miracle. So you're going to have to, like, rotate players. And you don't have the players to rotate. And that's if Horta stays.
But if you look at, I think but Horta renewed, I thought, and also I look at the idea that Braga did the group stage, and they typically they can manage the group stage, and once they get to the knockouts is where they kind of flounder a bit. in Europe, any kind of tournament. I think for them it's just more of they got the playoffs. They're going to throw all hands on deck because the group stage money for the Champions League is game changer for Braga. Like it's at the end of the day,
that money is just going to go to Malaga, right? To pay for right? They need that 10 million so desperate that they need to go pay Malaga.
It's going to be like Sporting with Lille, where they never actually see the money. They just complain about it on Twitter. But one of the things that someone just mentioned in the chat, Nick just mentioned it, right? And this is what I was pretty much getting to. You have that situation, and then at fourth, I personally, with Napoli, with Spalletti leaving Napoli, I really think the Conceição. Look, I just saw a stat the other day. You don't think Luis? I think he's gone, and I think Diogo Costa.
He's not going to Napoli, man. Don't do me dirty like that, bro. Like I'm not Napoli's my second, third club. Don't piss me off like that.
I'm sorry. Pick a fourth.
Nah, he's gonna go to I don't know.
But he'll leave. But the point is, he's gonna leave.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna leave.
You think
the
so?
fact that he's leaving,
I'd be shocked. Like I know he's got 1 year left on his contract, but
my god, look at that! Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know how you can stand up and say that I'm staying, and then all of a sudden just walk away.
Hey, Joey, turn around, Joey. That's how you do it, Joey. Turn around. That's how you say you stay, let it go.
That was a good one, Luis.
Hey, yeah, but okay, hold on though. There's a difference between a player who's been with the club for 6 months and a manager who's won 10 titles and has basically transformed the identity of that team to look like him, right? Aggressive.
Yeah. That's the thing.
No holds bar, right? So for him to just turn his back and walk away, that is good.
But I think, Sergio, I'll tell you why I personally think it's going to happen is because Costa's gone. Diogo Costa, I think, is gone for sure. Okay. I think a big club's going to come, and then I think Uribe's already gone on a free.
You guys see his 51 red bags at the airport?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Madness, bro.
Red bags, like red.
His luggage.
Yeah, red luggage bags.
I'll send you the tweet.
51, bro. I'm like, and his wife is always half naked, so it must be all these clothes.
Someone shared the photos of what she normally wears for the
That's incredible, man. I was like, I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't know you could get up to the airport and say I got 51 bags.
Yeah, you got to book that well in advance because
is that signing bonus?
Qatari money
to leave for the last 6 months.
Just quickly, whilst Mario's searching for that, I don't know if there was offers, but I'm surprised and happy in a way that Otamendi didn't take the money and went to Saudi Arabia or even
Inter.
Because in a world where we see players just I'm not mentioning names, the players just leaving Europe and going to Saudi and all these countries. Yeah, but Enzo with the Chelsea didn't last.
We posted it on our chat, didn't we? Or was it?
I don't know. I think it's more. The thing is, I think it's more natural to go from Benfica to Chelsea, right? Not now, not after the year they had this year, but previously, right?
But it was.
I think that's more natural. Yeah, not the time he did it. Not the time he did it. Not how he did it. Nothing is natural about that. But on paper, it's more logical.
Oh no, he should. This summer, he was gone. He should have always been gone.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Now to leave. I'm sorry, man, but Messi, I get it, he's retiring. Ronaldo, I get it, he's retiring. But there's players that are 28, 27, considering.
Kante. Look at Kante.
Kante. I even said I think I told you guys in the voice.
You said it, yeah, you said it.
Brother, what's going on? Why? Oh, because I want the money. I was like, is that what you thought when you were a kid and you were playing football? You think, you know what, if one day I get a call from Saudi Arabia, men's gone. No, you wanted to play football. You wanted to, I don't know, I don't like where this is heading, and I'm a little bit scared that in the next 10 years, I'm going to see players at 22, 23 leaving Benfica, and instead of choosing Real Madrid, they choose Al Ittihad or some shit like that because they're going to get paid.
Look at Talisca, right? Talisca,
Oscar as well.
He went from Benfica to Besiktas, and then from Besiktas to Saudi Arabia, China, and then China to Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Didn't give a shit about Champions League. Didn't give a shit about even his international career because one could argue that he has quality to be on that national team. And if he was playing in the top five league, he probably would have been in the Brazilian national team. He threw that all away for money because I don't know what he. I don't know how he grew up and if he was poor or whatnot. So we don't know what the family circumstances are. But he went completely in the opposite direction of what professional players play for. not for titles, not to win the Champions League, but for money. He went to China and then to Saudi Arabia, right? So,
but he's not the only one. Remember Hulk? Hulk he did amazing at Port, and then he went to Russia and went to China. Like there was a period.
You got Oscar.
China.
You got Oscar as well.
Oscar,
that's a great example.
I was looking into Oscar. I didn't realize this, Luis. Oscar's been there, I think, since 2017 or something. He got sold for $60 million, and he's making like $35 million a year. He's team of the week every week, like living the life. But guess what? Does he care that he's
like
he
got
had 40
the cheat
caps?
code?
Yeah. He had 40 caps.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
he was a key part of Brazil until he chose that move.
And to your point, Sergio, Talisca is one of those players where you put him on a good team, he has the quality to get some caps. Oscar, he had the caps. He was at Chelsea. He was winning the Europa League. Like he was one of the better players in Europe.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to say the best because he wasn't, but
that's
a crazy sellout move.
Yeah.
Hey, do I blame him? No, because at the end of the day, it's a job.
To kind of go back to the point, I think for a while China was trying to the MLS model and they were spending big money. They've now tapered back, it looks like, and now Saudi Arabia filling that gap. I think there's always going to be this pull, and I think I'm finding with time, I value more what Rui Costa did than ever before. I remember back in the day when Rui Costa came to Benfica, I used to make fun of the Sporting. He's just saying, Figo doesn't love Sporting. He ain't coming back for his final years of Sporting. Our guys love us. But, you see that from time to time, but it's not very often a player will take a pay cut and go back like that. And looking at Otamendi, I believe Otamendi would get paid more leaving Benfica today.
Oh, guaranteed. Even in Brazil.
He would make way more money. He just won the World Cup. Great season. He was recognized in the Champions League for what he did. He's peak form. There's the hype. Inter Miami probably would love having him to kind of because they're trying to get Di Maria also. They love the idea of kind of connecting this Argentinian World Cup winning squad showing up in MLS. Guarantee you a Saudi Arabia club will pay for him.
The only difference is that he's a center back, right? So he's 35 now. He'll be 37 in 2 years' time when his contract expired. He still has 4 years left in it.
He can still play.
Play. Yeah. Like as a center back, it's different. So it's one thing if you're playing on the wing or up front.
Even a striker, actually. Even a striker, you can get away with it. It's mainly midfield and the wings.
Like, if you're a target man.
Unless your name is Roger Mila or Ronaldo.
Oscar Cardozo.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Cardozo, but that's what I'm saying. There's a market somewhere.
He's a target man.
Even Zlatan.
He's a target man.
Yeah,
Zlatan. Target men
but those types of guys. Even Benzema could still go play in the MLS if he wants.
I just want to end the Otamendi rant or whatever. Right. I just want to say, like, a lot of people tell me that Otamendi is Argentinian and is a mercenary, right? And I fully agree because Argentinians are like that. But today, he proved me wrong because I still think we can't forget where he came from, how he was towards us. I now believe that it was defending his club. It was his job. Because now he's doing the same thing for us, and we love it. Same as Maxi. We loved it when he did it for us, and then when we hated him. It's just doing their job. That's the way. That's the Latin American way, right? The Latin American way is also get the bag, but he didn't do that this time.
But
maybe he's thinking, what? I want to stay here because I like it here, or maybe it doesn't matter what he's thinking. What
he's pretty much gotten a good bag already.
In all seriousness, people forget he was literally his house was robbed and he was held at gunpoint.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, maybe he was offered a percentage of the Sport TV subscriptions, a percentage of the Adidas sales, and a future Portuguese league team. Maybe he was offered that.
Every Bifana that was sold at the Halot.
Aruca FC is going to be renamed Otamendi FC. You watch.
Oh, mate.
It was every Bifana and every Sag Prial that they sold at the Halot. With the
the red Prestij knot that they have, the Prestij Benfica at the Luge, he gets 50% cut of all those Prestij sales.
Exactly.
He gets a stamp of red on those Prestij, man. He's there like every day, right? Stamp.
Would you, out of curiosity, I was curious because I feel like it's going to spark a lot of conversation, and I know we're half an hour in, and Luis, you're going to have to go, and whatever. We'll convince you to stay longer. You guys want to talk about kind of? I can pull up the slides, Mario. You can pull up the slides, and we can go through kind of the.
I'm going to top
goal scorers and talk about some of the performances and people that surprised us.
Do you have the slides handy out of curiosity, or?
Yeah, I can just I can pull it up right now.
Oh, look at that! The Casa Benfica got in Toronto as the jersey with the crest.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, Sergio, your review is unreal. Unreal. If people haven't seen that, we have to tweet it out after Mario. I'm pretty sure most people have. But.
On a quick note, just because someone put in the chat, last little side bag, and then we'll go to the main event. The Patrice Evra, that's kind of cool to see him getting involved in our Liga.
Yeah,
that's actually very cool.
Sure, I got you this out.
I think that's pretty good here. Let me take that out. I don't know, man. It's exciting. I think the league is doing some good moves right now. So what do we got here? Give us some background, Joe. How do these numbers come to be?
So pretty much they come to be by me going through all the games and checking them. But so basically what I did is, so we have this for goal scores, assists, and then we have kind of something we put out on Twitter. Just there were a series of items like, who was your MVP of the season? I know Mario, Luigi, and me, we have all of our picks already there. I added them. They sent them to me separately in the chat. But Sergio, we can do yours live and the people in the chat hopping in.
Yeah.
But for the first part about the stats, just kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about the season, expectations, and just really look at the numbers. Because I feel like a lot of times we end up by the end of the season thinking, okay, we look at only the Liga numbers because that's what we see, right? That the season ends and they go top goal scorer and all this stuff.
They found a mistake on your thing there. So.
Yeah, so nobody number 9 and number 10 in the next one.
Yeah, number 10.
And Zach sent me mine for example. But basically, yeah, I was very surprised, for example, to see the amount of total goals that Gonçalves had in all competitions. But then was also surprised that he only had 3 in the Champions League. And I completely forgot Enrique Rouge scored 1 against Maccabi Haifa. And so the all comps, this is Liga, Champions League, Taça de Portugal, Taça de Liga, and Champions League qualifying. So it's everything. And then, of course, Liga is just Liga. Champions League is only group stage on. But aside from that, there's not too much to explain. Just kind of curious to hear if you guys, are surprised by any names here or any names missing.
I'm surprised you have the time, bro. Do you ever go outside?
I did it all night. I did it all last night, believe it or not.
Madness, bro.
You killed
Well done,
it. I gotta say,
it,
Joe ran a lot of this.
That's madness, man.
It's funny, if you go back in time, 2 things. Go back in time before the season started. I don't think there's a person in their right mind that would have thought Joe Amati would have had.
Yeah.
Absolute madness. And then now in retrospect, looking at these numbers, Peter Musa, that guy, I actually want to see. I love Gonçalo Ramos, but I want to see
double digits. Double digits.
For the lack of minutes he played and usually the dying seconds of a game. Pretty damn good.
And if you look at, I don't have the per 90 or anything like that, right? Because I did need to go outside for 2 minutes last night. And sorry, Luigi, I didn't get to it. But in all seriousness, Musa has like a goal less than every 100 minutes. Yeah. So it's absolute madness. And I'm very, with Koksu coming and everything like that, this guy creates a lot of chances. Apparently, that's like his thing. I'm really curious to see how these numbers go up next year, right? Like we're looking at these numbers. Remember when Seth was around with João Felix, over 30 goals in all comps? Like I think we could get some of those numbers next year with the squad that we're starting to build. And with the injuries, Bob being out for a month and a half. We didn't get to the assists just yet, but that's kind of a spoiler. Even on the assist side, we had Gilbert at right back for a while. And while I love Gilbert, look, scored 4 goals actually. Scored just as many as the no-name. It's really going to be exciting next year to see what happens. But I was surprised really by that and Neres. Neres low-key popped off in all comps.
You know what? He started strong, tapered off halfway through the season, and came back strong. He had kind of a little barbell kind of.
Yeah. There is one more thing before. I'm not sure if you have anything, Sergio, that you wanted to add here, but there is one thing.
I'm just trying to calculate how many minutes he played.
For who?
Peter Musa, because he played 640 minutes, 7 goals in 640 minutes in the Liga. So right there, it's already below 100 minutes.
It's right at the 90 pretty much practically, because 90 would be 630.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
you guys are too good with numbers. I'm going, what?
Quick maths.
Okay, what's 10 plus 9, 21? That's me, man.
But one of the things I was going to say, I have a question for all of you, and this is for the chat as well, because I was very surprised when I did all these numbers. There is one player who scored in all competitions. Okay, so I'm talking qualifiers, Taça de Liga, Taça de Portugal, everything that wasn't a friendly, all games that matter. Luigi.
João Mari.
Okay, I want to hear everyone's answers before I say anything, even in the chat.
So someone that scored in every single competition.
Every single competition. Only one player from every single competition.
So including the
qualifiers.
Allianz Cup?
Yes, the Taça Liga, yes.
So you got to discount anybody who went to the World Cup. So no João Mario, no Enzo, right? Potentially Rafa. I would say Rafa.
Okay, so in the chat we have Antonio Silva from Fabs, Rafa, Gilbert.
No, Antonio Silva definitely.
Gilbert, if we count own goals, maybe we can count Gilbert too, but no. But so I was very surprised. It's your boy Luis Neres.
Oh, there we go.
He showed up in all competitions. He was the only one that scored in all competitions. I was so surprised because he didn't go to the World Cup either. Right, and I always forget about him because he's one of those players that should be at World Cup level, but he's kind of not.
Why didn't I just say Neres? I'm such a fucking idiot. I love the guy.
I know. I thought we were just talking about him, and I said, "Oh, he pops up in all competitions." I was like, "Shit."
Wait, did I say Neres? What did I say?
You said João Mario.
No, I didn't. I said Neres, man. Like, what are you talking
about? So Peter Musa scored how many goals? 11 goals.
11 in all competitions.
So he played 1,111 minutes all season. So that gives you an average of 101 minutes.
Couldn't be more perfect.
Hey?
That's amazing.
Wait, 101? That sounds familiar.
101.
Did something happen today with 101?
Yeah, didn't Benfica scored 101?
Yeah. No, I think you're thinking 47.
That's the one.
But yeah, so we have this for the goals, and then of course your boy Neres coming back again in all comps. I actually was surprised that he was the one that had the most assists. So really, if we kind of, I didn't have the time to do goals and assists to just see total goal contributions and everything. But Neres had 12 goals and 14 assists. That's pretty damn good. And look at Gonçalo.
For a winger, amazing.
27 and 5, so 32.
It was injured for a while, for like a month in there or something.
And then there were the games where he was starting off the bench, and we were pissed at Roger, right? Those Champions League games, even the Liga games.
Well, he got injured, then Auschwitz came in, and he lost his spot for a little bit.
Right. But, I mean, the hands are up, right? It's Luis. I picked that picture because of you. It's almost like that.
Come on, brother. Oh, man. We should have done this a week later, bro, because I'd be like, gassed. I'd be like, oh, man.
But yeah, I just was really surprised and looking at Grimaldo there at the top.
I don't know if this is true or not. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it is true. Yeah. Because you had like the all done up, and Ten Hag said like, I don't think like that's a look for someone that plays in my team. And then he said, well, why don't you take care of your hair whilst I'll take care of mine? My man's got no hair.
And then he was off to Shakhtar the next day.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And I was having Fika say, living the dream.
Worked out for us.
So one thing I want to add is when you look at these names, one thing that pops up to me is Neres, Auschwitz, Ba. These are brand new people figuring out the system. After a season under their belt, after a season with Schmidt, after gelling with these guys, like they were looking amazing right at the tail end of the season. When kind of they finally sealed it and it kind of looked like they kind of were snapping back out of it. I'm hyped. Like I really think that these guys can give you even more next year. Like literally, it's amazing to win the title and everything, but it's rare to have a title win, kick ass, do so well, and yet have so much goddamn hype for the next season. Because sometimes you're talking about players leaving, things of the sort. Like I'm not hearing any of that.
I'd like to say something as well, like you said that just quickly. One thing that I see, like a little pattern, is it pattern? Whatever. Grimaldo's got 13 assists, 9 in, obviously you can see on the screen, I don't need to say it. That worries me a little bit because you think like our second guy, the guy that got, in second place gets more assists, is gone, right? Yeah. I can see Ba doing something similar if he doesn't get injured, but I don't see anyone at the team in this precise moment taking that spot and doing that. So we just spent 30 million in Koksu. Good, not against that. Right. Although we should now focus on getting a left back, and once we've done that, I'm sure that we're gonna sell some players too. I don't think it's gonna be just all buy. I think we're gonna sell some players. Hopefully nothing too much, nothing that will worry us. Although that before this I wasn't worried, but after seeing this, I'm thinking Man's got 13 assists. That's one less than top. So
no, he's a critical player, man. I that's the one gap we now have is Grimaldo, and hopefully go out there and we need to sign a starting 11 quality player with it.
You see, like Lodi doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't fill me with confidence. You know?
So I was talking to my friends about this because one of my friends who follows the Prem pretty closely was pretty much bringing up the point, and it makes sense. Look, Lodi didn't play well at Forest, but and we're talking about this with former Benfica products, right? Like João Felix, like Konat. Benfica has the potential, and even with Gonçalo Guedes, right? Yeah, he was hurt, but if you even look back at the other one, Guedes was only here for a little while. He doesn't show up on any of these totals. That's because he was hurt partly, and when he got hurt, he was giving his all for us. So it wasn't like he's a player that has injuries like Konat or even João Felix. All this to say, Lodi to me is a player that he was fine at Atleti, right? Fine, okay, playing for the Brazilian national team and everything. Goes to England, has a bad year. He comes back to Portugal in the league, right? Because we don't have qualifiers in the UCL, which we want to talk about matches on the legs. We're gonna have a team that is able to go a lot further this year,
that's
right?
True,
with those fresh legs because we have less matches.
Point.
But so basically, what I'm getting at is he's gonna have those, Premier Liga matches to get his confidence back, and then boom, Champions League with a team that's already playing well. So I think that there's potential there for a player that needs to kind of relance or relaunch their career. So I almost would rather have a player like that than a young kid like this Kirkez or whatever his name is.
Scares. No cares.
Yeah, we already know what
Bobby loves
likes
it.
to say.
Bobby always is that.
But anyway, we'll see what happens. But
so one thing I want to note with transfers, like going back to Koksu, I just looked it up. I was curious. He's going to be the second most expensive Turkish transfer of all time at 30 million. Yeah.
That's
The
awesome.
most expensive is Arda Turan to Barcelona.
Turan. Yes.
Yeah, he was 34 million. But funny enough, they haven't had a transfer like this since 2015. Talk about a nation with such a rich history, at least at a club level, with a rich history. And you compare them to Portugal, similar in terms of fanaticism towards their teams and whatnot, and popularity of their league. You got the Portuguese league that habitually sells players for 60, 70, 80 million top dollar, and in the Turks, I mean, selling the highest paid or the highest transfer is 34 million. The second was 15 million, and both those transactions happened in 2014, 2015. It's been almost a decade that they've had anything come close to that kind of transaction. So this kid is probably going to get a lot of eyes on him from Turkey over the next little bit. I would think that Sport TV should be signing somebody up in Turkey to broadcast the Portuguese league games there in Turkey, or at least the Benfica games, because there's going to be a lot of interest in this kid in Turkey.
I'm curious. Yeah, he's.
I'm worried about our social media.
Yeah,
the Turks coming in.
Oh man, I can't wait, man.
You're right.
Welcome to Benfica.
Somebody has to set up a SL Benfica Turkey account. Can you imagine?
They get 100,000 followers overnight.
The interesting thing about it is, from a marketing standpoint, I don't know if he has any affiliation with any Turkish club, because he was born in Holland. He played for the Dutch youth side, Turkish family, and then eventually played his senior side. Now he's playing with Turkey.
Well,
but he doesn't have any connection to any of the clubs, unless he's vocally supporting a club. I don't know. But that's kind of because it isn't that all of a sudden he's like a Fenerbahce or a Besiktas or a Galatasaray guy. You can get Turkey's a big country. If you can get universal support from the country of Turkey, get some jersey sales. Their lira is not worth much, but hey, come on, let's
Mario. I don't know if you want to share the picture, or Luis, if you either you want to take over the screen real quick and I can take it back after. But he's at the airport. He's been seen at the airport.
I can't share shit, man. I'm not logged in.
Here, I'll see if I can find it. I'll find it.
I never know how to do that stuff, man. I'm a boomer.
I bet you next week when they do the presentation, when he's introduced to the media, they think is going to discover an old picture of him that's 5 years old, sleeping in bed with a Benfica jersey on. like John Tavares, the Toronto Maple Leafs. The same thing. He's got like Benfica covers and Benfica headdress, like Benfica jersey on and pajamas. You watch.
I think 2 reasons. I know Mario's going to put a picture up, but I'll carry on talking. 2 reasons that, at least in my opinion, have made him worth 30 million is the fact that first and foremost, he's 22. He's got a wide career in front of him. He's going to gain experience, confidence. He's going to come to Lisbon and think this is a city to be in. This is the club to play for, and I love it here. And secondly, times have moved on. You don't buy players anymore for 50 million and 20 million. You have to go into the 30s, the 40s, the 50s nowadays, especially for a 22-year-old. Thuram was 28 when he went to Barcelona. It was still worth 35 million or 34. 28.
Yeah.
It's mad. The times have changed, man.
So he's confirmed, though. This is massive news because I know we saw Fab tweet it, man. After Cavani, seriously, I have no until I see him at the airport.
Come on, man.
You know what? There's actually, it's funny. You found that photo.
He's knackered as well.
I found this here.
Share it, Mario.
Why did you prefer Benfica?
Oh, I love the Portuguese. Olha isto.
Mario, doesn't that remind you of us at Pearson when the players came through at the airport and were like, "Who's sign my jersey?"
Yeah. I love it. But the guy someone gave him the cachecol.
Right with the campeões.
The Benfica gave the cachecol. I want a signatura. Tu abaixo. Eu robô.
One of these.
Oh yeah. I got mine right here. Right there. That's the new one.
You know what, Mario? I really like.
What the fuck, bro? Yo, did you mix it up, or is mine and Mario is the same?
Which one?
No, I think it was the same.
BN90 awards. Neres, Gonçalo Ramos, João Mário.
I'm pretty sure it was all the same.
Holy shit!
It's the exact same, bro.
Hey.
What the fuck?
Hold on, he may have not spent too much time together in Lisboa, but
yes.
Okay,
Mario's I just confirmed. Let me confirm yours, Luigi.
I think you're right because I know I picked.
Oh no! I messed up one. You had Antonio for best young player, actually.
Oh yeah.
Oh, way to go, Luis!
I was thinking, fucking hell, dude. Having most of them I accept, but every dot by dot.
Actually,
I don't think I just copy paste.
Oh, look at it! Oh,
actually, no,
yeah, look at it now. It's there.
Multiple.
Look at the differences.
This is a sort of what did CD used to say? This is a sort of professionalism I expect from BN90.
Yeah, that's exactly. This is a level of professionalism.
That's it.
I'm waiting for Cynthia to type that in the chat.
Oh my god!
I knew you were gonna pick ours.
But yeah, so I guess to kind of talk through this, Sergio is the only one we don't have on here, so I'd love to maybe
throw your picks, Sergio.
We can go. I guess we can go one by one too, right? If we want to start with some MVP, Sergio can go, and then we can explain ours.
Yeah, Sergio, who would be your MVP?
I'll go with Joel's pick, Arsenis. I mean,
now you split it.
No, I had him on my as my pick.
That's a good one, man. I actually struggle with that.
I just think that the man, you got to give the guy credit for playing every single position, including left bench, ball boy, and water boy, right? So
he did everything.
And sporting director now.
And sporting director.
Yeah, he helped that Turkish
recruiting this kid. So you got to think that he was that is a good pick, but to me he didn't play as much as someone like Arsenis, right? Arsenis was playing every single game. He was indispensable to us, to our team, right? When he got that fifth yellow card, I was thinking, shit. What, the timing of that? And I think we played, was it at Rio Ave we played the next game? I think it was at Rio Ave. And I was shitting bricks. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was. It's tough to play there, too.
It's tough, right? I know they had just recently been promoted back up to the first league, but still, to go to Vila do Conde, they typically steal points from people. I think they stole points from Sporting this year. So I think Arsenis for sure for me was team MVP. Absolutely.
Are you universal on Gonçalo Ramos? Would you say the same thing, Sergio? Is that the easiest pick ever?
I mean, that's the easiest pick. Who else?
Almost
you can't put Peter Musa.
Well,
he scored the most goals, right? So
I guess I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I guess for the team MVP, Mario and the Leash, I'm curious why you picked Neres, because for the same reason as for me, the real reason I picked Frederick is
Hey, Mario, do you want to say it at the same time?
It's the same reason. But no, for me, I picked Frederick really because, like Sergio said, he played all these positions. But really, if you look at the end of the year, when Bob got hurt, if Frederick wasn't able to adapt to right back, we would have been screwed. And I don't know if we would have been champions, frankly speaking, if he wasn't able to play right back for those last 3 games, essentially. So I don't know.
I absolutely loved Auschwitz. I think he's amazing. It was a bit of a toss-up for me. Nadic, I love the beginning of the season. Auschwitz growing man.
This guy's going to start World War III, bro.
I know.
Hey, Auschwitz is there. Auschwitz is there, to be fair.
There we go. He's right there. It was between these 2 guys. We were a long day. We were a bit tired at this stage.
Yeah, it's that smoke coming from Canada, huh, Mario? Now I know where
exactly. That's causing all sorts of food zone.
I'm a little bit biased, but I love the guy, man. And I think the stats.
I'll be honest, it was.
Even though he didn't play like every game, even though he was injured every now and then, he gets me up out of my seat, and he gets the most assists. Still has goals, and that half volley left against Juve away. Oh, I love it, man. He lives for that Champions League nights, man. I loved it so much, man. He's just put a big smile on my face. I was like, just have a crack, and he just has it, man. And it's not easy because you're nervous, Champions League, and he might sky it, but he didn't sky it. He just put it back to the net. And
Mr. Champions League.
The other thing I'll say for myself, selfishly, is I had the Braga game, Portimão game, Portimonense, right? It was so fun to watch him, to be there live and watch him. He's just a very entertaining individual. It's just, you see him with the ball, and he does a little dribbles, little deeks, and you're like, this is an entertaining individual on the pitch.
Exactly.
I love it.
When I was younger, right? Because I'm still young. When I was younger, I used to watch Ronaldinho. Every time he touched the ball, I'd get up because I want to watch him.
You sure you're still young? You used to watch Ronaldinho?
The fuck
you see Pelé too?
Huh? Yeah, black and white.
Pelé too?
Yeah, cool. I'm watching sat next to your mum. Anyway. So I watched, I started when Ronaldo moved to United. I loved it because I can, every time Ronaldo has a ball, he's suddenly stand up because you want to see what he's going to do with it. Neres is that guy for me right now, basically. He gets the ball, and granted, sometimes he just does the most stupid bloody move and you think, what are we doing? But he tries. Like Salvio. Remember Salvio? When he had a one-on-one, he tried. So many times he failed, but when he didn't fail, it was beautiful. It's football. It's a Brazilian football, So I love the guy. I'll let him do stuff to me. Yeah. That's it.
I guess So if we have a consensus on Gonçalo, who's your midfielder this season? Sergio.
Midfielder would probably be Arsens, just because if he's the player of the year for me,
what a tune, bro! What a tune!
Logic, A to D.
To the left now, yo. Stand up. 2 hops this time.
We're gonna get so many strikes on this for the beats in the back. Copyright from everyone possible.
Starbucks is popping, I tell you.
Sorry, Sergio, man. That's hilarious.
More atmosphere than the Awful Loud on a Wednesday night. Oh, just kidding. They won't be playing Champions League this year. But anyway.
Anyway, sorry. What you're saying, Sergio, before we started doing the cha-cha?
Basically, same logic. If I'm voting him as player of the year, he's got to be the midfielder of the year. Unless
fair enough.
Yeah, that's
mine. I'll explain why I differ. Is mainly because one, I think it's the reason I picked him for MVP, aside from him just being a great player and big for us, was he played everywhere, right? So on the wing, and then he was in the midfield as a 6, then as an 8, then he played everywhere. But Florentino for me was a player that, first of all, I don't think it's a surprise at this point. I love Florentino. He's been my favorite player since 2019. Even when he was on loan, I was always clamoring for him to come back. You look at last season when he was in La Liga 2. If you look at the interceptions per 90, he was second or third in the league with Busquets and Frenkie de Jong, guys like that. So he's always had Fabs. He's always had that quality, and the fact that he's back home is unreal. And he's a player, like Luis said before. If he leaves, I start to get worried. But if he stays, I feel comfortable. Does he not provide anything offensively? Yeah, nothing. But defensively, I think he's one of the best players. I mean, look at him. He's on Luis's mic. He's in the Maldives on vacation. He's on Luis's mic. He's a pool. He's all over the field, all over the world. I love him. And I think that's why, for me, he's the reason that our midfield worked. Enzo came in. Enzo came out. But the constant all season was Florentino.
Good night.
Yeah. For me, I just want Joe Matti just because I don't know, the guy, best career season he's ever had in his entire life, man.
It's true, actually.
Is it your half brother?
I don't have to explain mine. Like, come on. Like,
yeah.
I can't. I mean, like.
I think our defenders are interesting, though, so I'm very curious to see who Sergio picks. Because I really think that all of ours are good choices.
What's that?
Your defender. He's all into the cha-cha right now.
Baby, don't hurt me. As for me, it's Antonio Silva for sure. It was just lights out. He was consistent. He didn't drop. I mean, yes, okay. At the Alvalade, he had that one mistake, but you can't ask for anything more from a 19-year-old. He was just by far the most consistent defender that we had this year.
For me, the only reason I put Ba is because you took Grimaldo out, fine. You took Antonio Silva out, we're okay. You took Otamendi out, we're fine. We took Ba out, we're fucked. We had to find somebody else to be able to do that position. That's only my reasoning. There's no other reasoning. Like, that's literally it. It was the only player that when he took out, you had to go and find, like, something else to work. That's all.
I see someone saying in the chat he ran over her. Just a quick reminder to everyone at home. Free Salvio.
Free Salvio.
But yeah, that's a good pick. This one, I think that the best surprise, I mean, across the board is Frederick, but maybe Sergio. I know that given your MVP, given your midfielder of the year, I'm curious if you have someone different because I'm trying to think of other surprises. You could even talk about transfers. Frankly, Luis, I was pleasantly surprised from the edge. So like he was my second pick.
I'm gonna fuck everything up. I'm gonna say it was João Neves for me.
Good shout.
Surprise, just because he came out of nowhere and basically saved our season. We were on the way down in April. He inserted him into the squad, and all of a sudden, the team kind of gelled, turned around in the last couple of games. I'm gonna say definitely for me it was João Neves because I didn't think this kid had this in him to play this way at a high level at 18 years old.
My second was Musa, actually. My second was Musa. Just because when we bought him, I didn't understand the anything about it. I was like, why are we buying this guy? I never heard of him. He doesn't seem to be a baller, like, someone that can control the ball well and stuff. And all of a sudden, the guy comes in and is banging them in. In a way, more naturally than Gonzalo at some points. It was just like, all right, I'm in, Bob, done, 2 touches, done, that's it, done. See you later, guys. So it was a very close second, but then I put Alves because I shit on the guy so much. And I did, and I admit it. Like, I still not convinced, but he surprised the heck out of me this season. So, I need more Licobero.
I guess the flop of the season. The flop of the season too, I feel like, is another one that was sort of unanimous for us, Sergio. I'm curious to see if you felt the same.
Yeah, I would say yes, absolutely. I mean, the guy comes in, he's the highest paid player in the squad, even though the majority of his salary is paid for by PSG. He did score a goal when he at the beginning, but he never nailed down that spot. He was unimpressive against Caldas Berrein of all teams, right? You think that you would tear them apart being who he was. But yeah, no, for him, unfortunately, he just never latched into Roger Smith's, I almost called it George Drew, oh my God. Roger Smith's system, and he got injured, and he was done. So unfortunately, he was a flop.
The only one I think you can give a shout out to on that one is Verissimo. Verissimo looked like when we got him as center back, and he was killing for Benfica, we all were panicking, saying we got to find a way to make this guy our next Luizão. He's going to be the main man. Then he got his injury, and we're all begging for him to come back and get healthy. He got healthy, but he never found a way back in the squad. That's one that I'm hoping he finds a way back in still. Like I hope he stays because that first season I was, insane. I was we gotta retain a long-term defender, right?
I think my second pick, and I think that it's maybe just because of the hype that came when he arrived, was going to be Gonçalo Guedes, just because I was in it again, flop in the sense that one, I did anticipate him being a starter the whole time he was here, and he kind of had more of a bench role, which was fine. And I think his role in the locker room made his role worth it.
Johnny Brooks.
I don't know, but no, I wouldn't even call him a flop because you knew the second we got him, it was going to be for like 2 games, right? Yeah, that's what someone the other day when we signed this American kid now. Another exciting thing that happened this week, we signed that 18-year-old American center back for the B team. And someone goes, I pretty much said that no Americans ever asserted themselves in the first team. And someone was just commenting and goes, oh yeah, well there was Freddie Adu and Keaton Parks. They didn't even remember John Brooks. Like that's how minuscule.
Short-lived.
Why you guys gotta hate on Zach Thornton? Like, come on, guys. You remember Zach Thornton? He was with the team for a split second, right?
For a second.
Did he make a first team like a competitive appearance?
No. I think he was just a third string goalie in the 90s. That was it. So
yeah,
90s. Okay.
90s.
But yeah,
then, bro.
I would say Gantz, but I'm not sure, Luis, if you had another flop to you. I know Draxler.
Yeah,
you love.
I'll be honest with you. I wasn't gonna put Draxler. I was gonna put Gedge, not because of what you said, just because of I never expected anything from Draxler anyway. So for me, it's a flop that I could have told you a year ago. No. You guys know.
I know, but it's true. It's true.
You're upfront.
I'm always at this. Auschwitz, I shit on a guy so much because I don't think Auschwitz is the answer for every position on a fucking pitch. That's all I'm saying, right? Although he's a great player, and that's why he's there. He's my surprise of the season. Now, Draxler for me is a flop. Yeah. But am I surprised? Fuck no. Because when we signed him, everybody was excited, and I was like, fair enough, that's fine.
You weren't at all. Yeah.
I wasn't. Like I was still recovering from wanking so much because Ned is joining the club. And I was like, now we signed Draxler. He's a World Cup winner, he's done this, he's done that. Fair enough. I give him the benefit of the doubt. Well, I actually didn't. I really didn't. I didn't. I just like, no, this guy's shit. But I gotta say, hey, I really do respect and appreciate what he said about the club and his time in Lisbon. If we were, I'll tell you this, and if we were to get him loaned for another season, I'd respect it and say, you know what? Have a preseason with us, get our fitness in, right, and try again. And if you do, I hope the next time, next year, my number 5 with a smiley face is Draxler. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, and it's not exactly. When you said that, I understood the whole time you said he was going to be a flop. Obviously, you want to be proven wrong. Every single player we sign, when we're upset that we sign a player like this, Koksukai, seriously to me, my expectations are going to probably increase over the summer. But right now, when we're getting him, I'm excited, but I'm not. With the day we signed Draxler, I mean, even Benfica was so excited. They said, everyone gets free stampage, free the lettering in the back of the jersey with Draxler's name and everything. Like, they were pushing it like crazy because of how big of a signing it was.
Yeah, World Cup winner.
Yeah, and he was a PSG. Like, that's the first time we got a big guy on loan like that at the time. Well, I shouldn't say the first time, but the first time in recent years.
Yeah, it's like we're attracting them to come here, right? So that was an interesting one.
I honestly think Coxie can be just because of how old he is and the experience he already has. Because, hey, Eredivisie is not an easy league, man. You have good teams in there, good players in there. Like, I know we watch the Premier League all the time.
It sounds the most Italian way of saying it.
No, wait, what? No, the fucking Dutch league, isn't it? It's not. It is.
Say it again. Say it again.
Fuck you. Don't you have?
Arrivederci is what you said, like the Italians.
Listen,
I'm the last person to joke about pronunciation.
Mario, you're the last one.
I am. I always
say all the names.
But that shit's still hilarious.
No, wait.
He's calling Auschwitz. Auschwitz.
Yeah. Auschwitz.
What's the Dutch? Yeah, Eredivisie. Eredivisie. Sorry, Eredivisie. Sorry. Eredivisie. Okay, sorry. Okay.
It's not there. It's a bit more.
And I watch it because of Ajax, right? And it's a tough league, and you have to have good players. Arrivederci. We have to. Yeah, check if I passed that out. But I'm just saying, I'm excited. I'm excited. You know what? I'm more excited for Koksu than I was for Ausdus, Draxler, all these players. So we'll see. We'll see.
Not Neres, but
no, fuck off. Not Neres, bro. Like, are you all right? Like, no.
Oh, yeah, young kid.
Goalie.
Sergio.
D just asked about goalie really quickly. There was no best goalie because Odie was the only one that played. So if you want to count Samu Suarez, if we did have best goalie, my pick would have been Samu Suarez for the 1 minute he played in the last week of the season. But
yeah, clean sheet all season.
Hey, more than Odie could say. Just kidding. Odie actually, clean sheet wise, had a great year. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that.
He'll always be our goalie, man. Michel Prodom. Yeah.
But Sergio, what do you think for the young kid? What would be your pick?
Antonio Silva, because obviously came out of nowhere. When I first started seeing him pop up in the starting 11 in preseason, I thought, well, okay, so he's just trying a new kid, just giving him minutes because the other guys aren't fit right now. And then see him in the second game, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I'm getting a little nervous, but okay. But he caught on and just stuck with it and got his first call up to the World Cup. Proved some of the haters wrong. It's proof that he deserves to be with the national team. Good on him. Player of the year. Young player of the year for me.
And also one thing that I'll mention, just because you talk about that, Sergio, in the World Cup, you mentioned, if you actually look and it doesn't, it means about as much as you want it to mean. But in terms of the valuations, right, there's that CIES that does the official evaluations for all the players, valuations rather. And Antonio Silva is actually the third most expensive defender in the world right now, above Ruben Dias. So 3 and 4, it's Antonio Silva and Ruben Dias.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll find. I sent the screenshot to the group the other day, Mario. But let me just confirm that.
I'm sending it as if I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'll have to send it again.
Actually, I haven't seen it.
But yeah, so yeah, it's Guardiola, 115 million euros. Militão at Real Madrid for 108 million. Antonio Silva's 89.5 million at 3. Ruben Dias 84.4 million at 4. And then Aruj, Slaughterbeck, Upamecano, Konaté, Saliba, Gabriel Magalhães. So they go on the list, but it's crazy. Isn't that crazy? That you have Portugal, first of all, has 3 and 4, but Antonio Silva is actually already valued at that. And I was getting.
I wonder if the salary plays into valuation, because to get Ruben Dias, not only are you going to pay a fat transfer fee plus salary, or is it just pure transfer value?
No, also, not from what I understand, because I actually did look into it once, got into a fight with some friends about it. But those valuations are based off of contract, just the estimated value to get that player. So, for example, let's say Ruben Dias only had 1 year left in his deal, his value is going to be much lower.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
But they don't take in salary to account. It's transfer fees, which is why sometimes you'll see there is something that they do for players when they do these lists. That's how they take it to the account. But when they talk about transfer market valuations, it's a little different. But the CIES does it based off of how much it would actually take to get that player.
Perfect.
But yeah. But I guess also,
I think the player to watch is all.
Yeah, for next season.
Take on that one.
I think when Joey, when we all met, me, Mario, and Jerry, Ethan, and all that, Cynthia, we went to the stadium. We went to have a little look inside the stadium. Joey was really happy to be by the grass, and I thought it was because he was at the stadium, and it's the Benfica stadium. Shout out to Luge. No, it was mainly because he just got to go outside and touch grass. I just wish he had glasses on, man. Massive.
Wait, actually, hold on.
They're like a pen holder.
Actually, I haven't used them in so long that there's dust on them. But
wait a minute. Here
we go. Hey, Professor Joey. Every time he tells you a stat, yeah.
As the sunlight comes through, Nick, yeah, it is
sunlight,
lovely.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so I guess Sergio, I'm curious for next season. We all picked João Neves, but even you could. Koksu wasn't available at the time. But,
I was gonna say, can I cheat and say I look forward to seeing how Koksu does?
You can if you want.
You can.
Actually, no. I'm gonna go on the limb. I wonder how Roberto Firmino is gonna fit into our squad when he's signed.
Hey, you heard it. If that happens, you heard it here first.
Imagine.
But just kidding aside, obviously João Neves. I got to see what else this kid has to give us, right? So it's going to be very interesting how he plays. We'll even have a spot in the team. Like, how are you going to be able to play João Neves, Koksu, Florentino, and then Frederick Garcia? Like, that's 4 players. Like, does that mean João Mario is coming out of the squad?
It's a great question.
It'll be tough, actually. You're pointing that out now with Koksu in there. And if everyone's healthy, it will be tough to get minutes.
Well, because Koksu is going to apparently be our number 10, right? So does João Mario come out of the squad, and does he go in there? I don't know, right? A lot of people say he's more of a number 8 box-to-box player, so I don't know.
I want to cover his ears. I honestly have a bad feeling that. Hold on. I have a bad feeling that Tino's going. I have a bad feeling that Tino's going. No, he didn't hear me.
Make him unhappy.
So listen, but I will say the only thing I have to say is that
I'll make your point. Not a problem having depth.
Exactly. Actually, Alfred just said it. Al just said it. I think that this is going to allow us to find angry Tino is something else, man. The eyes scare me. The thing is, this gives us depth now. So instead of playing, hopefully, Roger will feel comfortable with the depth of the squad, so he doesn't have to play João Mario for 800 straight minutes, and have dead legs by January 15th every season, right? So hopefully this allows us to give that. And I think to start the season, I don't think João Neves expects to have a starting spot. I think he understands. He kind of, I don't want to say got lucky, right? He got the playing time he deserved. But there was a spot that opened up for him when Enzo left. Now that spot's filled. Now it's time for him to really, to grab that spot, right?
He continues to develop. We got Taça Portugal, Taça Liga. Like, the objectives this year we're hoping was win the Liga and win a couple of the cups, ideally, right? At least win one of the cups. That didn't happen. I think the objective this year is going to be win the Liga, but also win, hopefully, the Taça Portugal, win some taças along the way, right? And that's key. This time last year when we had that PSV van on our show, asking, what can we expect from Roger?
That was hilarious, yeah.
He pretty much went on about, love the guy, but the guy doesn't rotate, doesn't use the subs. And that's been a challenge, and I'm hoping he does it, right? So,
well, hopefully, it's also his confidence in the squad, right? So hopefully he has that. And to the point of the Scandinavians, right? Like, he already made some. We look at the players that he brought in: Kristic, Musa. There was one other player as well that we brought in. I'm forgetting the name right now. Maybe it was Ba. Were players that were brought in before Roger, right? That he inherited. He got rid of a ton of players. Diogo Gonçalves. Seth is going to get. We're going to.
Hey, Diogo Gonçalves is killing it, by the way, at Copenhagen. He's doing all right, man.
I mean, yeah, he's playing against legitimate farmers now instead of players whose parents are farmers. Now the actual players are farmers. So it's a little different than Portugal. But
it's still good though. It's still all right.
No. But seriously, yeah. And actually, I'm surprised he made the list somewhere as well that he actually had a goal. But yeah, one of the things I kind of just wanted to. This is probably one of the more fun parts of the show for everyone. Is also just talk about our favorite moments of the year. But yeah, I grabbed pictures from each of them, of course. The day.
Hey, Joey, can I say one thing just quickly?
Please.
You know that Bruges 5-1 home win? I was there, man.
Yeah, where were you for the intermatch?
Huh?
Where were you for the intermatch?
I was there too.
Exactly. So
hey, it's Fabio's fault. It's Fabio's fault.
But yeah, Mario, you want to talk about yours? I mean, we could talk.
I think mine is more of a family affair. Many years ago, I got to see a Tetra final. My son Rui, I got the Catalinha still up there. But this is the first match. I had Cynthia, Rui, Eva, myself. I had Luis next to me. Ethan was there. It was more emotional than anything else. Plus, to be honest, that was like do or die. That was if we screwed up against Braga, that title would have been gone. And we felt like we were in a bit of dire straits. Yes, we found a win recently, but at the same time we were kind of struggling a bit. So it was such a critical moment. The stadium was nuts. It was amazing. That was my match, man. Just.
Luis or Sergio, do you want to go? Even I'm not sure if you want to talk about yours.
I can. Okay, so this is the first time I'm seeing these. So right off the bat, instinct for me was winning at the Dragão. that was such a huge step in terms of
I was there for that one, Luis.
Yeah, there you go. Oh.
Like if you're thinking about, so I can look at it two ways. In terms of excitement, like making you jizz, I would say the game against Juve at the Luge, especially that first half, was just electrifying. I was like, holy fuck, like where did this team come from? This is like gonna be old, right? And I was pretty excited. They came back, it was like 4-3. But if you're talking about importance, I gotta say beating Porto in Porto, it's a rare accomplishment for this team. That to me was probably the most important match of the season, just from a confidence builder. And Roger Smith with his, like this, when he got hit in the head with a paper, whatever it was, and then he went back. That was an iconic moment, basically.
And halftime substitutions.
Three, yeah.
I know he had the balls to take off Enzo. Enzo wasn't even having a great game that game, right? So I gotta give that match is the most important game for me, for sure. Yeah.
This is so good, Al.
Hey,
I'll be quick, man. I think any of the games against Juve could have been the highlight for me. I'm not gonna get into like soppy stories and shit like that. Basically, it is what it is, man. I was in Lisbon. That holiday was planned for something completely different. It worked out the way it was. I was with one of my best mates, Ismael. I was at his house. We had dinner. We were just watching the game, and then all of a sudden, 4 minutes in, you're 1-0 down. You start thinking, "Fuck me, dude. Don't do this to me, man. Don't lose 3-0 in Turin." And then all of a sudden, I'm jumping around. I'm obviously the penalty is a penalty, whatever. And it was a 2-1 win, but it could have been so much more. We had so many chances. We all had seats. And I remember at the end of the game, looking at him and saying, we could have smashed them 5. I don't remember the game minute by minute, but I remember thinking, due to personal stuff, it just felt good beating an Italian team that day. Yeah, it just felt good beating an Italian team, because I know
they chirp a lot. They chirp a lot. Juventus has a bad habit of opening their mouth against us in a disrespectful way.
Yeah, let's say that.
I will say I picked the Bruges home win, but I was in Port. Actually, unfortunately, I was at the Lodge of Benfica and they were giving away tickets for that Juve home game. I really wish I had stayed in hindsight, but I had to go back. But I was watching the game that we won 4-3. That game, legitimately, you want to talk about missed chances? We won 4-3. That game should have been 10-.
Yeah.
They scored
both
every
games
chance
like that. Yeah.
It was just such a dominating performance, especially like you said, Sergio, that first half. I was so proud. Antonio Silva gets the goal too. Remember, and then he does. That was actually in Italy, it was the moment with the Bonucci, right? When he's chirping at me. But for me, this Bruges match, 5-0 until the 86th minute, we're through to the next round. And especially when we drew Inter, just all that confidence, seeing that team, that game, even João Neves hops on and gets an assist at the end of the game. We looked so dominant. And yes, it was Bruges, but that's the round of 16. You were underdogs against Ajax the year before, and if it wasn't for Darwin's header, right?
Yeah.
You're not making it through. This was such a dominating performance. I was able to sit back and chirp to all my friends in the Champions League who were sweating away the second leg. That was just such a massive win to me, and it gave me hope that we'd be able to do something in the Champions League without Enzo. Because let's call a spade a spade. That group stage was unreal. We beat Maccabi without Enzo. I wasn't sure if we were able to do that by chance, right? Because it was an Israeli team, a smaller team of the group, right? Calling a spade a spade. But then we did it against these guys who, we're a smaller team. But again, without your star player, quote unquote, and it looks like you're playing even better than you were with him. And that was really one of the Chiquinho games, and that's why I picked that picture. Chiquinho played unreal that game. And that's where he went, for me, in my eyes, from Chiquinho, which I like to call him before, to Chiquinho, to even, I'm not going to call him Zidane. I'm not going to leave it at that.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta give it a shout out though. That Maccabi match, that second match, that level of hype, the amount of headlines that made globally for Benfica, where PSG is second to us, the reaction of PSG celebrating, and then someone running to Neymar and those guys saying, "Hey, you got to do the math, do the math."
And the coach is like, "No."
And all of a sudden, they're like, "We don't understand all this kufuzel," and just it was fun, man. It was a fun season, man. Just a lot of there's so many matches you could have picked.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys want to do a transfer? I'll let you go quick, Mario. Because to be fair, I think we all felt that way at one point. But revision.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like I messaged you, Joe, when I sent you this one, saying I want to pick someone else outside of Enzo. But if I'm honest with myself, when we signed Enzo, that was one heck of an exciting signing. That proved itself very quickly and killed it. And then went to the World Cup and did what he did. And you're like, holy shit, what a signing. He was doing amazing and all that other stuff. Unfortunately, what happened in the winter window, but $120 million in the bank, you know, we just spent $30 million of it on Coxu. Maybe spend another $20 million or $30 million on a nice left back and maybe throw another $20 million something else, and the rest goes towards some debt fees and agents. But it could be a transfer that pays some dividends and hopefully pays dividends this season coming up, right? I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I'll say mine, Frederick. At the time, this is definitely a hindsight. At the time, I think for me it was Enzo, because also it was like the whole. We should have seen the writing on the wall, right? Like he said, he would only come if he lost in the Libertadores, and then they actually did lose.
Yeah.
To like Vélez, Sarsfield, or Racing, or some small club, a club that they should have beat, that River Plate should have beat. So even his arrival coming when it did, like that, you know, we want to talk about a butterfly effect and everything, but I was just so excited to actually get him, especially since a lot of our signings, like Frederick, Draxler, even Gibbs, they were all like, you know, pretty much the writing on all the Twitter stuff, like nothing happened, right? It was just all of a sudden, oh, Benfica has this player, he's at the airport. And we didn't know anything about it. But Enzo was one of these sagas that I thought was going to be like a Cavani or something where we wouldn't get him. So I was excited. But
Hey, Sergio, what would you say yours?
No, go with Luis first. I'm torn between two. I'm curious to know what he says.
He's got here.
I follow the guy since Ajax.
Hey, that is a kid.
That's a
I
sick
follow
kid.
the guy since Ajax, right? I'm not gonna just
Bring it closer,
forget that.
Luis.
Yeah, that's a good one, man.
You never seen this kid? I've had this kid for time.
No.
I've never seen you.
shit.
That's
Wrong
wrong
way.
face.
Tino's fallen.
No. I'm trying. Like, how do I put Luis? I put Luis up top here,
never
like
seen
that.
this kid?
There you go.
I did not know you had this kid.
Hey, wait for it. You ready?
Is it Enzo in the back?
Wait a second. Look
Oh, that's sick. I've never seen this, Luis. I have
You
never
never
seen
seen
this
it?
kid. No.
That's nice.
Yeah, anyway, so I followed him since Ajax. I didn't follow him at Shakhtar, and I was super fucking excited when he came to Benfica. Tino, mate, stop following, man. Hold on. Yeah, and when he joined Benfica, I was like, wow, I honestly couldn't believe it. I don't think anybody like understood how big this was for me. Because I was like, one of my favorite players ever is joining my football club. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, no one really understood it because they're like, Neres. Like, it's just Neres. And I was like, no, Neres for me is like, I don't know, maybe for you guys, it's like, I know Nuno Gomes has been Nuno Gomes, but Nuno Gomes has been always associated with Benfica and Portugal. Neres was the guy that I always used to follow. And when he joined Benfica, I was like, I hope he plays well. And hey, the numbers are here. I gotta fold this nicely now, guys. 1 second.
Yeah. All right, Sergio. How about yourself, buddy?
All right. So when you say favorite transfer, can you say favorite transfer out? Like, thank God this fucking bum is no longer with the team.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like that.
Go for it.
Let's do that.
So
Let's go. Yes.
you guys covered the best transfer. Right?
Yeah.
Can I say that I'm
Now
glad
get nice and dirty. I want like a good jab.
I'm so glad that Cebolinha left. What the fuck? I can't believe that I invested money in that guy with the jersey. See you later.
It could be worse. You could be Joey.
Yeah, I only went for 6 months. At least you got 2 years.
Yeah.
I am Joey because I have my away jersey is Enzo as well, but I don't regret that.
Oh no!
I don't regret that.
Hey, don't put Coxu. Don't put Coxu the next one, bro.
Actually, you know what? I already got mine. It's João Neves for next season, right?
Oh yeah, I loved it. The
Thank
lettering.
you. So you know that João Neves is going to be sold in August, right?
You gotta tuck it in, though, man. You gotta do the whole
that's a business jersey.
You want to know when I was doing the stats, one player that I completely forgot played for us, and it's crazy because it was so soon. Rodrigo Pinho. He scored a goal this season.
Yeah.
And Yaremchuk was still the season. Chuck I kind of remembered, but
so you can rank these guys. So like we got rid of. Here's some bums that we got rid of. We got rid of Yaremchuk, who I also have his jersey. Everton.
Jesus,
what the fuck you did?
Carlos Vinicius, right? Severovic, another bum. Gil Diaz, we got rid of.
Marius collapsed. Conti.
Sergio, I need to see your closet of Benfica kits.
Mario, what's up?
I want to see how many players stayed more than 2 years.
What do I got here?
Look at that.
I love this. I was wearing it today. I was like, I'm not switching to a kid. I'll keep the Vinicius top.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wait,
Great
Sergio,
little one. I love this
unreal.
one. A little Benfica player.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna sign off in 3 minutes because my computer battery is like literally low.
Starbucks is gonna be like,
They're gonna kick me out soon. My favorite storyline has got to be honestly João Neves. Like João Neves coming in at the end and basically saving our season. I think that was my favorite storyline for sure, without a doubt. But mind you, I'm gonna give a special shout out to this is dedicated to Luis Neves. Basically trolling Otavio and Potter in the celebrations. Choro bebé. That was pretty good. I'll give him that. I'll give him a special consideration to that. But for sure, Neves coming in. That was a great story. You can also say Antonio Silva's rise as well. Like you can't.
Yeah.
Between the two of them, I think those two were really great storylines for the team this year. You know what? That's it. That's it for me.
Nice.
I got peace out. Thank you very much for inviting me. But if I don't get home because I'm halfway around the world here, my wife is gonna kill me. So
Sergio, thank you so much, man. I appreciate all the beats that you gave us today.
So nice.
Yeah, an hour and a half. Holy shit, it's an hour and a half we spent. Oh my god.
Yeah,
she is gonna kill me.
She's gonna.
Right.
Hey, you know what? At least just give me a shout when you get to the Casa for the cash calls. We'll connect on that.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right. Talk to you soon, buddy.
Thanks, Sergio.
Have a good night.
Cheers. See ya.
Yeah, and I know it's late for you too, Luigi. And I saw Miguel in the chat. You know, we did promise at one point that we'd go
Don't
back
care
and count
anymore.
all the chases. But
Hey, we will do something. I'll post it somewhere. I will go back. I'll go through it.
I'll go with you. But I need some
see
stuff.
Sharice? No problem, man. Just follow me on. I can't say that word on YouTube anymore as well. Only people that you know.
Only
that
a
website. Only a depth. There you go. Hey, go on BN90. Only a depth. You can see all our Sharices, man. We were there like sword fighting in the toilets. Bad things.
Nice. So that's it. Yeah. She says this being a wife. Nice knowing you. All right. Wrath that poor.
Nice knowing you, Serge.
Hey,
Must be nice, man.
I'm kind of curious, you guys, though. What was your we had match, we had transfer storyline, but what was your favorite moment of the season?
This is easy for me.
Yeah.
This is me being at the stadium with Mario, Cynthia, Ethan, Rui, and Eva, right? And then a certain someone said, "Oh, I'm walking through the tunnel," and then you see this minion, right? Because I thought you were a lot taller, right? I swear to God. And I see this guy like, "Wait, is that Joey?" Even Ethan, out of everyone, said he's quite short. And I'm like, "What do you mean, bruv?" Anyway, and then you see him walking.
Ethan says you're short,
and you see, when Ethan says you're short,
hey,
but you know,
Luis, want to bring up the picture? I know you hate that picture.
I love the photo.
I don't care. I'm short. I embrace that shit.
No, but there's one in particular where I do look. I'm like towering over you, and you're not that much shorter than me.
Fuck off, you towering over me. What's this?
Yeah, let's see this.
You know the picture. Hold on, I'll find it. I need to find it.
Is that the one we're like both naked, hugging in bed?
No, it's with the what?
No, you can't.
You're supposed to delete that.
I don't think I know this picture.
Let's see. I'm excited.
What about yours, Mario? What was your favorite moment of the season, man?
Buddy, you just said it. The going to the luge with you guys. It was so much fun. It was. It's been so many years, far too long. I absolutely loved it, and it was so nice to get together.
I think the pinnacle for me, if I was to pick like a one little second, I think it's when we all sat at the table. It's when we all sat at the dinner table at the stadium. And we were just chatting, and to the left we have the stadium. We have like a decent meal in front of us, like a nice steak and stuff.
It was great.
And we're just all chatting, and man, it was so good. It was so good. You couldn't find the picture. Look at him, fucking prick. You're lying.
I have one, but it's not this one. There's this one, but you're kind of bending down a little. But it was.
Oh, I know.
I'm
known for that, to be honest. I'm bending down a
little. A good photo. Look at that one.
I got my ass out. Bending.
I wish behind Ethan. I wish we had one more person with us, like Mello or someone right behind Ethan. The way he's bent over, we could crop that photo in so many horrible ways.
Ethan's doing he's twerking. I'm pretty sure he's twerking.
The first time I ever went to, I think my moment was.
Look at that.
That's a good one.
The first time I've ever.
I like the way it says "Maish." We want more.
Maish.
Where? Oh, in the back.
Where?
Oh god, I drink and he's the one that is drunk. Speaking of which, I'm gonna top up, man, because it's midnight. I might as well just get fully fucking bummed, man. Like,
exactly.
Fuck it.
I was gonna say, Mark, I've been waiting for a while to go to the museum, and I always told myself,
fuck you, Zach.
I'd go to the museum for a special occasion. I wouldn't just go by myself. I wouldn't go, and I was glad because
that was a good reason.
The first time I went was with you guys, yeah, and it was so much fun.
Fuck me, that's a bit too much. Fucking hell.
You can down it and go for a second.
Fucking hell. Hey, can I just say as well, going back to the museum, the lift, the video wasn't as good as it used to be. Because I think I even said to you, Joe, at one point, I said, if you don't cry, you're not going to be
cry. Yeah.
I didn't cry that much. Like, I cried a little bit, but it was because it wasn't that good. Like the first one I watched, I was there with one of, doesn't matter. I cried, like, to the point my eyes go, I don't know why I'm fucking standing up. My eyes got red and people could see that I was crying, and I'm ugly already. So when I cry, I'm really fucking ugly, So like, all my eyes are red, but that video wasn't that great. Although me saving Rui's penalty was that was, I mean, I tried to save Ethan's penalty and I snot came out of my nose. That's how fucking, honestly, you guys didn't see it, but I dove.
The VAR says goal.
I read him like a book, man. I tell you. That's what's all rubbish, by the way.
I gotta say
that pose is better than Odie, by the way. That pose there is better than Odie.
Oh yeah, you just have to move.
You actually have your feet are planted,
mate. Look,
you're ready to jump.
Whereas
Odie is like either stick standing.
Chew his gum and that's it. Doesn't move.
Beautiful.
I tell you, man, it was beautiful. I gotta say, very special meeting you guys at the luge, being there with the kids. I will say for myself, on a very personal note, we live in Benfica. We love Benfica. I'm lucky. I'm with Benfica, and I get to enjoy the games with her. Living in Canada, and for the people who live in the UK and the US, things of the sort, you have young kids growing up in the household and they see it, but you hope they catch a little bit of it in them, a little bit of Benfica, and you're just never too sure because they're that far away from it. And really, it's like the old people are watching this, or the kids are doing the things with the kids. Oh man, see Eva get into it. Rui, to this date, I'm not lying. Earlier today, when I picked up the kids from school, I have a Benfica car flag that I still left. It's kicking around the backseat right now, right? Because when we celebrated, I just left it there. Eva will grab it, roll down the window, and she just holds it out. And she'll chant out Benfica to people on the street. It's fucking hilarious. They're fucking in a Canadian subdivision. These random Canucks got no idea what the fuck this 7-year-old is yelling at them. I love it. I absolutely love it. My son is into it. Seeing Rui get into it as much as he has this year. And then being able to share that with you guys, it just added.
Such a good time, man.
Yeah, it was nuts, man. It was absolutely nuts. It was. It's a good year, man. It was a very good year.
We deserve this year.
Yeah.
After
everything we went through.
And I mean that's honestly when I started coming on the pod was once we started being shit. So I'm glad to see that I'm not.
You broke it, man. You finally broke it. You broke the curse. You had to stick around. If you had stopped doing this show and then we won, Coupe de Joe, that would have become a legit thing.
Mario. People would have started. I mean, I already blame myself for a lot of things,
Yeah, that Coupe de Joe. Remember last season? People would say that all the time. That was picking up. That was trending.
Hey, I will say one thing though that kind of looking forward to next year, and I know we'll do other shows and stuff this summer. But I know Luis late, and I actually realized I actually have somewhere to be in like 7 minutes. But I can be a little late. It's fine. But basically, I'm really excited for the Supertaça because that's our first against Port. Now that Port won the
Porto right? Supertaça, I'm gonna love it.
Oh, but that's the thing, Mario. We need that.
I would lose my mind.
We need that, and because they're all chirping about the Supertaças and the number of trophies they have and whatever. I really don't care about that. But the fact of the matter is, I know it'll be at a neutral ground, right? Aveiro,
we need to get more wins against Porto than they get against us season after season.
We need to continually. It cannot be something where, oh yeah, we win the league, but we win and lose against Porto. I want to next year. I want all the trophies we can get. I want quarterfinal of the Champions League, maybe semifinal, depending on who the opponents are. Right, we'll see what happens with injuries too. I want at least quarterfinals again. Make it 3 years in a row. That's the first time that's ever happened, I believe, ever, even going all the way back. And then I want us to beat Port twice. I want us to beat Port, and I want us to dominate because even this year you saw people chirping, and I don't care. People are saying, "Oh, Benfica didn't deserve to be champion." Even Conceição said, "Look, they were first place since the first week of the season, but because we didn't beat the big teams."
Listen.
Correct. That's what I mean, Miguel.
What is that?
He said there's no Champions League qualifiers in August, so we're gonna have.
And can I just say something? Okay, look. Whatever someone said, he can go fuck himself, man. Honestly, if you're watching this, you're not because you can't. You can go fuck yourself. No. Honestly, bro, I don't think that shit.
I don't like him either.
If it was the other way around, let's say Porto was on top the entire fucking year. They went far in the Champions League like we did, right? They had, I don't know, 5 penalties instead of like 20, right?
Well, yeah.
I would give him the benefit of the doubt, right? The champion always deserves to win unless it's robbed.
Oh, like PSV last year, like with Ajax, they did not deserve it. That whole thing. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is, like, brother, don't come and tell me like we have like the best team, like everybody. Like, don't. He's such a. This is what I'm saying, right? This is what I'm saying, right? I'll say this now, and it's on air. So if it fails, people can come at me. Sergio Conceição leaves Porto. He won't win one single major title for any other team. It's as simple as that. He's not a coach. He's not a coach. He's not a manager. Exactly. He's a cheerleader. He's a motivational speaker.
It works in Porto because it's Portista in that environment.
That's it.
That's hard to repeat outside of Porto.
The only team in the world, and this pisses me off, where it may work a little bit, is Napoli.
I knew you were going to say that. You know it's true. It's Napoli. Very similar style. He played there. That's why he was good there.
But if he goes anywhere else, by the way, he's not winning the league again. He's not winning the league again with Napoli. Simple as that. He's just
no chance.
He's just not. Might win a cup or two. Anywhere else he goes, and I say this to the camera because I want this to be on fucking record. Fucking prove me wrong. If you go to any fucking club in the entire fucking world that is not Porto or Napoli, you ain't winning shit, bitch. He's not. Oh, why you fucking have to zoom in as well, bro? Like, he's not. He's not a good coach. I'm sorry, bro. He's not a good manager. He can't accept defeat. He can't even accept winning most times. Like, the guy's a dick. I cannot believe this guy played for a national team for so many years, being the cunt he is. Like, honestly, he's such a dick, bro. Like, I think he's one of the first persons that if I see him on the street, I'm like, oh my God, Sergio, please sign my fucking shirt.
Hey,
and as soon as he comes, I'll spit in his face and leave. I'm not even joking.
You guys know the one guy though. Supertaça, Portugal, Benfica versus Porto. The one player everyone's gonna have eyes on. Neres. After all the chirping.
And Otamendi.
No, but Otamendi.
No. Take it back. It's going to be Odie. Odie and Neres. Because Odie, too, with this apparently.
He did Odie was kind of like a little. Like, he said a comment like in the locker room that someone recorded and leaked. Neres was grabbing every possible camera and just. It's getting right in them, right?
I know. Listen,
and I would love nothing more than Neres deking some guy out. You know how you get a guy to like slip or some shit, deking around, popping a goal,
bro,
and then doing a fucking celebration.
All I'm saying, you win that game, and I see Ned is like just subtle, like a little dance, like that, like a little dance. I'm not good for promises. The channel knows that very well. But I'll do something. I'll do something to honor his name. I'm not gonna say tattoo because fuck off. Don't bring that back.
Ship sailed.
No, it's not. The thing is, it's not, bro. I can literally show you my desktop. It's there. I'm just waiting for the guy to take the finger out of his asshole and
Mario.
You gotta replace with something else now at this point.
No,
the Barcelona. He's gonna put. You know, it's gonna be hilarious. By the time he gets a tattoo, Benfica's actually gonna win the Champions League, and he's gonna have Barcelona 3-0 instead of the Champions League.
no. Barcelona 3-0, right? And then dash. Man's gonna have the entire history of Benfica Champions League on his left leg.
This is also true. It depends on what they do with the super chat. If he gets suspension or not, because they might give him a suspension for talking and hurting.
Oh, if he doesn't play even better, he's in the stands going.
Oh man, but yeah, we'll put something together throughout the off season.
Man, this guy just said,
Oh.
"Do you speak Portuguese or you Benfiquistas? What's going on then? How does that make sense? Like, I'm sorry, am I drunk? Like, can you not? What? I don't get it. But fuck it, it's fine."
Hey, as I always say, anyone that ever says that, a gente pode falar português, mas também isto é dos mais grandes clubes do mundo. So vai ter pessoas that falam chinês.
That's the most I heard Mario speak Portuguese, by the way.
If we were in Portugal with him.
Yeah.
Eu não hablo português muito bem. Porque eu falo.
Não sei.
Eu posso ter uma bifana com cu em cima.
Com cu? What the fuck is that?
Aquele cu amarelo.
Eu sou português.
Também, por acaso também.
Por acaso também.
Hey, if we had Mello here, I wish we had Mello here because all he'd say is "okay."
Yeah. Yeah, what's happened to Mello, man? I
had a chat with Mello today. Quick shout out. It was the hospital at Nelly. No baby yet. Oven's cooking any moment now.
Because he loved this, man. I got him because of him.
Just lure him back in.
I was gonna say I saw you send it, Luigi. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. And then he didn't say shit.
To be honest, man, it's £10 from Primark, bro. To be honest, I was like, Primark, what the fuck?
But yeah, we'll get some fun. They already kind of released a lot of the preseason schedule. Looks like they're not coming to North America again.
No. Hey, you know what though?
They go to Switzerland, and they might be.
They had a bunch of tournaments in Portugal.
They'll be playing Feyenoord since we bought Cook. So,
is that in his deal?
I don't know if it's in his deal, but we're playing them at the Coipo, whatever the name.
That's quite cool. I've always had a soft spot for Feyenoord as well. To be honest, I always had a soft spot for where is it? Dutch.
Could you imagine Melody just kicking? That'd be fun.
He's gonna name it SLBA.
I always had a soft spot for the Eredivisie.
Arrivederci.
No, but I don't know why. You know what? Do you have a league that like only you watch it? I don't know. Like,
yeah.
What's that?
The Portuguese league.
But like,
I think we're the only ones.
I watch the Portuguese league, obviously, right? Obviously, I watch the Premier League. I watch the Serie A because of Napoli, right? And then I watch the where's it again? The Dutch league.
The Dutch. There you go.
Eredivisie. Dutch league because of Ajax. That's why I've got that. I've got a Napoli one in there as well. It's very tight though. They make the kits really tight.
Well, hey, seriously, actually, side note, real quick. Did you see that the Portuguese national team is going to be moving to Puma?
Yeah, they're paying double the money, bro.
I don't care. You need okay.
That piss you off? Why?
For what? I hate Puma kits, mate. Did you see
Nike's
the last
been
World Cup?
doing a shit job.
They're
copying.
I agree. Nike's done shit job, but I am not excited for Puma though.
I am.
Oh, hey. Also,
they make tight kits.
Yeah. You saw me, Luigi. I look like a guy that likes tight kits.
Well,
you're gonna see me. It's gonna be huge.
Hello.
It's gonna be like stretching.
Hey, just get the double XL instead of an XL.
I was gonna say one of the things though. I am just I'm starting to think of a million things at once now. What's new? I'm thinking of. I'd like the fact that they released the kits earlier this year. You know what I mean?
You see that Black Zebby one? Is that legit?
I just read what Rui Braz said.
Also,
comment
just
to the show.
Just to help Luis out, here's the official pronunciation, Luis.
Eredivisie.
Yeah, Eredivisie. Something like
Eredivisie.
Mario, I was 90.
Eredivisie.
Eredivisie. Okay.
I was 95% positive you were going to send the video of Biden. The 100 billion million.
Over $1 trillion, $200 billion.
That one's never gonna get old, man. That's
Zach, I've never been this happy because I haven't had this kashkol. It's been a while.
Fuck you, kashkol, bro. I've got the best kashkol in the entire world, bro.
In Taiwan?
In Taiwan, exactly. What's he got from Taiwan now?
Look at this, mate.
I like that one.
Hey,
that's nice.
I'm sorry, but come on, bro.
I already told you. I love that.
Look at this.
That's nice, man. That's a nice one.
Like, and it's big. No, but honestly, look, you got the flags. Like the Portugal, like there. Look, where is it? Look, the little Portugal flags.
Yeah.
You know, the badge, obviously Benfica. It's so, and it's one of those where, mate, honestly, I'm in love. I could marry this guy.
We're gonna do. You know what we're gonna do, Luis?
Is that legal in the UK?
Anything is legal in the UK, man.
Hey, enjoy the summer, Boris. We're gonna get together. Boris. We talked a little bit. Me and Joe. Luis will get involved in this. We'll do a cash call show. We'll record it or something and post it. And
we wanted to do this summer, Mario. We talked about talking about the squad in general. Once we have a little bit more activity in the transfer market, doing the Cash Call show.
On that same note, what do you guys feel?
Thank you.
On that same note, this is a question for the chat, right? Because I don't care what these two think. Basically, we're thinking of not for the entire year, but over the summer, because there's not much Benfica, at least for the next month or so. We've got Portugal and stuff, but hey, who the fuck cares? We're thinking about doing some reacts. Like we get Mario together, we get Joe together, or Joey, we get me. We'll just shoot the shit. We have a couple of beers. We and we just react to like,
falling videos and just react.
Yeah. Some porn, maybe, get some stuff in it.
React,
Our
faces to something.
We measure our dicks, discuss how to look.
Well, Coxu coming. Let's see which one is. Yeah. Anyway.
On a serious level, though, guys, just react to Benfica and maybe like, old matches and stuff. And it's to be honest, it's more of just us three, just having a laugh and just reacting to something. And then I can edit, put it out there. It won't be like 2 hours video. It'll be like a 10-minute video, 15-minute video of just the best moments and stuff. I'm an alcoholic, so I love to drink. So anything with alcohol, I'm there, man. So, let me know what you guys think. My phone number is
the Hot Ones challenge last year. I think it was the year prior. We'll do some fun shit.
We'll do it. The thing is, like I said to Mario, and I don't think I said it to Joey, but I said to Mario, I said, look, we get together on a Sunday, we spend 2 hours together, and we'll get like 4 videos on. Like, do you know what I mean? Because shouldn't have said this online, live, but 2 hours, 4 videos, easy. Why are you showing that shit again? Eu posso falar português, mano? Queres eu falar português? Eu falo português. O que se passa, caralho?
I just saw something. I just saw something interesting, which is apparently on Fab Fabrizio Romano's not his personal account, but like the show that they have, that Here We Go.
Oh, Cavani's coming?
Di Maria. He someone said Di Maria to Benfica with the eyes, and he pinned the comment. So I love
that. We got Di Maria back. And just from a depth standpoint, but Nesh can play on the left pretty good.
No, the thing is, don't start messing up with Nesh, man. Let Nesh be where he is.
Is Di Maria good on the
listen,
left?
Tia Maria is a coffee liqueur, bro. Like, don't get things messed up, right? Come on. Nah, with all the respect, yeah, I'd love to see Di Maria back. Although he's getting on, isn't he? He's getting on.
It's tough. It's
It'd be good for a sub. I'd say for a sub. I'd say for an option.
He's happy with that role. That's the thing. That's the challenge.
I have also Samaris. Samaris is gonna be back at Benfica. Benfica B. He's gonna have a role in.
Is that true?
It came out today.
Verissimo was supposed to be coming back too, right?
He's back.
Because they fired Castro. I thought did you find it odd that they brought in Verissimo? They didn't. The club never announced that. You know, all the major outlets were saying it, and one of my favorite accounts is that B24 PT or whatever it is, like that account on Twitter. They almost only announce stuff when it's legitimate. I just retweeted their stuff with Coxo at the airport, but I was going to say they announced it, but then the club only announced Castro leaving this week. I found it kind of took a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're trying to work on something behind the scenes.
They try to keep him as like an assistant to see if you want to stay. Maybe I don't know.
And it's tough. There's a certain you want these guys. I mean, Shalana was helping with the kids. Like you need these people, but some of these people they're great for the kids. They're good mentors, good help. They're not for the main team. And it is kind of challenging sometimes with egos where some of these guys are doing stuff with the kids. And you saw with Verissimo, he came up. He's not for the main team. He did amazing for the youth side, right? So it's good to have him back. But it's sometimes a challenge where you're dealing with that ego bit, right? Where maybe they want to move up and maybe they're not fit, you know?
Yeah. But sorry, Luis. I'm not sure if you wanted to mention.
No, I'm good,
else.
man. I just I just think, like I said before, and I'll say it again. I don't know when the first Portugal game is. I think we should get together one of these Sundays. Like I'm off next Sunday. If you guys want to get together for a couple of hours, man, we'll shoot the shit. And leave it all down to me, guys. All I need to do is this. If we do this on here, we watch something.
Maybe we could do
next Saturday.
I'm gonna reach out to Mello. I'm gonna see if Mello can record.
I'm working Saturday, bitch. I'm working.
No, the game. I was saying the Portugal game is next Saturday against Bosnia. That's why.
Is it really
against who?
Bosnia.
Would they? Yeah, no.
We had some fun matches.
And then they play the following. They play the Tuesday. It's starting to work. But we'll figure something out. Regardless, we'll figure something out.
I need to put I might do a Como V on Portugal just to keep the channel going because.
Are they legit? Like, cool question. They signed Puma. Are they still going to wear the Nike kits for the next little bit? Like, they haven't come up with kits yet for Puma.
Well,
no.
The partnership's
the contract's still there.
Yeah, until the 2024 Euro. Like, we're going to be wearing next season's Euro would still be Nike. And then
is Nike even going to bother making us a kit now for the Euro?
They have to. There's a commitment.
It's going to be the same. If they just give us the same kit as they give to everyone else, which is what they did
no
before.
fucking difference there. Who's there?
Yeah. So,
brother,
if I'm actually
hold on.
I'm gonna look at. Let me be smart. If I was Nike, I would make the baddest, best kit ever.
Okay, can I say something? Can I say something on that note?
Can
I say something on that note? How worse can it be? Because, like, have you seen the last one? It's two fucking triangles made on paint. I couldn't do that on paint, bruv.
Oh, it was lame. It was terrible.
They could. I tell you what. I think Nike, because it's not Nike. You know, you don't ride a bikey. You ride a bike. Anyway, Nike could try and make a worse kit, and it'd still be better than.
Is it a Dikey or is it a Dike?
Dikey.
Hey, what the fuck is a Dikey? What the fuck is a Dikey?
A Dike like in Holland?
Fuck Holland, man. I'm talking about Portuguese and English. Fuck Holland, man. Like, you know what I mean? I watch their league, but that's it. Like, I don't speak
Dutch. Portuguese, you don't call it a bicicleta, you call it a bike?
No, in Portuguese, you call it bicicleta. What the fuck?
So why are you saying Nike?
What? What the fuck do you mean? It's Nike. It's not Nike.
I'll tell you one thing, Rodrigo. A lot of people think that I'm a sporting fan.
The guy in the chat.
Yeah, Rodrigo Tails.
Oh, I was going to say, call me Rodrigo.
All right. It's 2 hours.
A gente nunca leva nada a mal.
Não tem cara de ser
Estás à vontade.
21 ao bêbado. Betinho Cascais.
Hey, we had a good show.
Não. Comigo acertaste.
Comigo também.
Comigo acertaste, Zé. Aliás, se não tiver bêbado, estava a dormir. Foda-se. Estás a ver em casa.
Luis, one last time. After everything. You got this.
It's right there. You don't even need to look it up.
Eredivisie.
Hey, that was the best one yet. That's actually how you say it.
Hey, hold on.
Oh yeah, tell everyone. You know,
I like
you know
the British one,
why we were asking you to say
Edelweiss.
that?
La cambiaste, la cambiaste. It's all,
You know why we
it's
were
fallen,
asking you
man.
to say that, Luigi? We were hoping you'd say Rivadenci so we could say goodbye to everyone.
Ah,
That was
arrivederci, ciao,
Alright.
bella.
You know what? I'll end the show because I didn't come up with anything.
Fanculo.
I'm gonna do the stadium thing because we got some new people. Let them see the stadium thing. I thought it was a fun gag. You
What
guys,
stadium thing?
I made a stadium,
no,
the model.
the one Mario made.
I built a stadium. Like this.
Oh,
said that you
shit.
saw
Yeah,
it.
Essa coisa aqui, quando o Benfica joga.
Hey, can I just ask you a question?
Mario, how long did that take you?
Longer than I thought it would because I fucked up with the there's these stickers, and everyone when I was posting about this, all these people messaged me. Oh, I bought the same thing, but the fucking stickers because no instructions on the stickers. So you're waiting for the instructions because they tell you the first sticker, the pitch, they tell you that. Say, oh, cool, it's in the instructions. Then they never tell you once again to put a sticker back on. They just assume you know. So it's only as you're assembling it.
Right.
You got to unassemble it. So yeah, it took a while.
Can I just say something as well, man?
Cynthia seems a little upset. She seems traumatized by that whole experience.
Cynthia's traumatized by eating knack, mate. Like Cynthia got a panic attack because she saw a hot stove in front of her. She couldn't eat knack, mate. She was having a panic attack, and I was looking at her. She was looking at me, and Mario was like, "I can't eat this shit."
Get this away from me. Cook it. Move on.
It was hot. Yeah, it has to be hot, Cynthia. It has to cook your fucking meat. Such a good night, bro. Such a good night.
That was fun. That was a great time.
Hey, real quick on JJ. Did you guys see that video of someone telling him that Brazilian fans, he's losing 3-0 in the derby, and some Brazilians say Volta ao Flamengo, and he starts laughing? If he did that at Benfica, could you imagine you're losing 3-0 in the derby, in the middle of the derby, you're laughing at a fan telling you to go to another club and smiling? I'd be livid. I'm so glad we're done with
that. Oh, no, that guy's career is done. Like, it's only going downhill from here. Like, that's it. All right, guys, 2 hours. We promised Luigi this will be a quick show. And we said, let's, and yeah, quit the thing. He's got to work a couple hours.
I'm going to put a sickie.
Ish, guys, for the ones that don't know, he's in Inglaterra, so he's off on the hours.
Hey, if you drink enough, Luigi, you can start throwing up and say you have the flu.
I'm the boss. I just say I don't fancy getting in today. You hold the fort, and they say, "Okay, boss."
There we go.
I hate. No, the thing is, I hate saying that, but I can literally just say, you know what, guys, don't feel like it, man. Like
you got this.
Although
you gotta do what Roger would do. No, you go in your office and you close the door. Say, I gotta do boss stuff. Don't disturb me and take a nap.
That's not the issue. The issue is getting up. Like once you're up, you're fine. It's my issue is getting up. Yeah, I know. I've been working on it. I've been working on it. That's why I'm saying this is why
I wasn't expecting that, but I should have. I really should have.
This is why I got to compensate with my tongue. But, like you've been down there for a while. I'm like, I know, man. I know.
Give it time. Oh man.
This is Benfica after hours now.
All right, you guys have a wonderful night. We'll talk soon. Okay, thanks so much for everything.
See you later. Thanks, guys. Good season.
Ser benfiquista, eterna alma semi-imensa, que nos conquista e leva a palma a luz intensa do sol, que lá no céu risonha o bem beijar. Com orgulho muito seu, as camisolas berrantes, que nos campos a vibrar são papoilas saltitantes, que nos campos a vibrar são papoilas saltitantes.